At a time when authoritarian governments throughout the world are competing to see who can be the most tyrannical, British police are giving it their all. And if you're from the United States or Canada, don't tune out here just because this is going on in England, because whatever happens over there seems to find its way over here, regardless of how bad their ideas are. It's like we're colonies all over again. Alright, so let me show you what the British police put out to try and shame the British people who are going for walks in the countryside. You know, how dare they? Alright, so here we are. This is, again, it says Derbyshire Police. Despite posts yesterday highlighting issues of people still visiting the Peak District, despite government guidance, the message is still not getting through. That's like a beauty spot in the countryside, by the way. Derbyshire Police drone unit have been out at beauty spots across the county, and this footage was captured at Curbet Edge last night. Alright, let's take a look at this incriminating footage, guys. Here we are. These vehicles should not be here. How dare they? In the middle of nowhere. How dare they travel without permission? Walking your dog in the Peak District. Now take a second and take a look at this, alright? You've got two people, two looks like elderly folks, and their dog in the middle of nowhere. Who are they harming? That you're supposed to stay at home, maybe cooped up in your little apartment, which is the case, you know, throughout, say, London, and you know, breathe in that kind of smoggy air with all your different dust and everything and the chemicals in the air, which, by the way, indoor air is like not as good for you as outdoor air. The EPA, I think, came out with a study not that long ago saying that indoor air is approximately 5 times worse than outdoor air. They're actually doing something that benefits their health here. And the police are like, no, you can't. Anyway. Not essential. Stay at home. Going for a walk miles from home is not essential, because for some reason distance has something to do with this. You're supposed to, if you go for a walk, you're supposed to stay in the city, you know, close to everyone, because that makes sense. You know, you should stay where everyone else is, in a small, tight area, and exercise there for the virus. You see, this is all about power. There's nothing here that's about, you know, helping people. It doesn't make any sense other than just, you know, showing the authority of the police. That's all this is. We're watching you. That's what this whole video is. We're watching you. Going out of your way for an Instagram snap. Oh no, they're taking a picture in the countryside, guys. No. Driving to a beauty spot for a stroll is not the same. It's the same thing. We've got two people who aren't actually interacting with anybody else. They're on cliffs. I mean, and what right does the government have to tell you? It says the government advice is clear. What right do they have to tell you can't just travel in a beautiful spot in the country at a time when you've got suicides at basically an all-time high? People are stressed out. People are being told the world is going to end. And so some people decide, you know what? We're going to go out into the countryside. We're going to have a delightful day. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to take the dog, breathe in some clean air, get some sunshine, a little amount that you actually get in England, let's be honest. What in the world could be wrong with that? Well, it shows that you're not, you know, looking at the police for, I don't know, guidance? Is that guidance? I don't really think it is. And again, you know, a lot of people think the idea of getting sunshine and fresh air as being healthy and helpful is some kind of like old wives' tale, but it's not. You know, when you look at, like I said, the EPA saying that indoor air is significantly, you know, worse for you. You've got the solvents that you use to clean surfaces, the dust, the mold particles, because our houses are in many ways kind of made of paper. All of this. And then there's the sunlight, of course, which provides benefits. Most notably, and probably most of you have already heard about this, you get vitamin D from that. And vitamin D is part of at least a couple of different anti-cancer protocols. It's actually quite important. All of that is disregarded. Instead, it's all about somebody's power, in this case, the power of the police. In fact, just to show you how authoritarian they are, let's just come back over here for a second to this little tweet. Alright, so we scroll down, because they're going to dig in. They're going to try and shame these people because they're being, you know, criticized. They're going to tell you how bad those people were in the video. It says, cars were parked in both the car park and on the hill up to it. A bags of stones that was at the entrance as a roadblock had been pulled to the side to allow cars to enter. Wow, how evil. Plenty of people were walking, many of which had parked up in cars before heading out for their walk. Like as if cars have a connection to a virus. This is ridiculous. Some number plates, that's license plates for Americans, were coming back to keepers in Sheffield, so we know that people are traveling to visit these areas. Daily exercise should be taken locally to your home. Under government guidance, all travel is limited to essential travel only. Okay, why? Why, if you live in Sheffield, which I grew up in Sheffield, it doesn't have the cleanest air in most places in Sheffield, especially if you live closer to the town centre. It's more urban, you might say. It's more smoggy. You don't have any great places to walk, and the crime is going to be significantly higher than out in the countryside. Why are you required to walk in the smoggy, kind of desolate-looking or industrial city? Why? And it continues, traveling to remote areas of the Peak District for your exercise is not essential travel. Please, stay home, save lives. No, actually, in this case, those people who are getting out would be less likely to commit suicide, would be, actually healthier getting out. So no, it's not saving lives. It's not. This is just them being tyrannical because they think they can. We understand that people have differing views about this post. However, we will not be apologetic for using any legal and appropriate methods to keep people safe. Now there's a threat. They're going to use legal methods to keep people safe. In other words, they're going to actually use the law to enforce. Not to mention that they're flying around with drones so they can then, at best case, just shame people online. Worst case, they're actually looking at those license plates, which they are, remember, tracing to where they go, which they are, and then they're going to, contact those people? It certainly seems like it. You have, as I mentioned, suicides going up. You also have domestic violence incidents going up. People are going stir crazy, being told to stay at home. And people trying to take a walk away from civilization, trying to obey the rules. That's a word we're hearing so much. Obey, obey, obey. And still, it's not enough for the most tyrannical amongst us, which apparently includes British police. This is so much more about governmental power than fighting a virus. Wait, if you enjoyed that video, please remember to like and share. I can't grow without you. Also, if you want to be reliably notified of new videos, don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter. If you're able to support the production of these videos, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe at Subscribestar, or maybe get one of the healthier products, or even get some merch.